Shawn Marion's success in Cleveland hinges on David Blatt. At age 36, Shawn Marion is a calculated gamble for new Cleveland Cavaliers head coach David Blatt. On a depleted roster in Dallas last season, Marion had his highest minutes total since 2008 and 2009, and his points, rebounds, and assists pregame all took a hit as a result. Now set to play alongside LeBron James as a defensive stopper and a three-point shooter, whether Blatt can take some of the pressure off Marion while pursuing a championship will be a tricky balance. Marion's once staunch defense was an issue in Dallas last year, but the backcourt tandem of José Calderón and Monta Ellis was partially to blame. Neither of the offensive-minded ball handlers are very good defenders, and it was Marion who had to help from the weak side in situation with multiple ball screens last year, creating spot-up situations for opposing shooters. That doesn't bode well for Cleveland, who will likely trot out a comparably bad backcourt duo of Cal Irving and Waiters next season. What should be the saving grace for Marion, and indeed the Cavaliers, will be their offense. Blatt is proposed to be an offensive mastermind, and his set should fit Marion well. A student of the Princeton offense, many of Blatt's set includes a lot of backdoor cuts, an area where Marion has prospered throughout his career. Last season for Dallas, a fifth of Marion's offensive involvement came on cuts, producing a personal best of 1.07 points per play, according to synergysports.com. Marion should also benefit from a weak side filled on high pick and rolls, where his ability to shoot above the break threes was bright spot, particularly from the left side of the floor. Blatt likes to place a player on the opposite side of picks to draw help defenders away from the paint, and Marion will provide a reason for opponents to stick to the arc rather than crowding the lane on Irving. Of course, simmering underneath all this is the subtext of Marion joining forces with both James and Kevin Love should the Andrew Wiggins trade go through. James is a special defensive player who can uplift subpar teammates within a team defense. Meanwhile, both Love and James are excellent transition players and should pair well with Marion on the break. Despite the philosophical fit with Blatt's system, Marion's impact for the Cavaliers will largely rest on his minutes. Going into his 16th year in the league, Marion's decline will likely continue despite Cleveland's best hopes. There should be some relief in the form of Mike Miller, James, Jones, Matthew Dellavedova, and the potential addition of Ray Allen. But Cleveland might have to slowly increase Marion's minutes if their defense starts to flounder heading into the final third of the season. Ultimately, it will be Blatt's rotations that will prove whether or not last season's hiccups was the start of something more sinister for Marion. If the Cavaliers can limit their reliance on his production, Marion's consistency in a bench role could make them one of the more dangerous teams in the East, shoring up their well-run defensive inequities outside of James and Anderson Varejao. Where the Cavaliers are lacking most is in defense and depth. And if Marion becomes the final piece of the puzzle on the wing, it may very well be that we see James in the finals for a fifth straight season. Do you think they have a hope of winning? Thank you for watching the Chicago Live Show.